Let's move on to Sky's main event. Not the main event of the podcast, because we've still got a lot to go. I'd like to anyway. But the main event of the Sky in this podcast, and that is obviously his New England Patriots. I am just letting my notes load, and I will tell you all about what they've been getting up to. A big off-season for the New England Patriots, and some, I have to say, heralded by a lot of people as very, very smart moves. Bringing in Milton Williams, bringing in Stephon Diggs, Carlton Davis, Harold Landry, Morgan Moses, Garrett Bradbury, Marcus Epps. I mean, is a decent pick down there. Obviously, didn't really lose anyone that tragic. Jonathan Jones, Dietrich Wise. That was about it, really. And then, obviously, a fantastic pick for the first pick of your draft in the fourth pick overall, which was Louisiana State's LSU. I don't know why I said Louisiana State. Everyone knows it's LSU. But Will Campbell at tackle, taking Travion Henderson at running back, and in the second round, third round pick. People who are fantasy football people. Carl Williams, wide receiver out of Washington State. A lot of people are very, very interested in what he may do. And I'll admit, I did see him return the touchdown on the kickoff.
Did you?
In the preseason game, I did see it, and I was very impressed.
Come on! I don't even know where to start because I'm so excited now. I'm finally over this thing of like, oh, we shouldn't hire Mike Vrabel because I don't want us to because I knew we made a mistake. Nothing with Mike Vrabel. It was just like the Crafts have done it wrong. We know he should have been there a year earlier. But seeing him on the sideline, even though it was a preseason game, just felt right. There's Josh McDaniels. Here's Mike Vrabel. The Patriots are where they're supposed to be. We could get off to a great start. I think it's the second easiest strength of schedule behind the Niners. I just think, annoyingly, I was saying this, as you guys both know, with Shane, and when we talk about the Pats, and with Justin, who you know, Fred, maybe it would be better if we had a 7-10 season, but to build, right? Because still money to spend, etc. But when we've got the Browns, Giants, Saints, Titans, and are in a division with the Jets and Dolphins, there's a real chance for me of a wild card spot. I think Josh McDaniels coming back is going to slow things down in a good way for Drake Maye with good play calling. We've got Henderson, like you said, the 1-2 punch with Stevenson. There's just a lot of good things to like. And finally, Stephon Diggs has actually showed a bit of maturity. So I think he can help some of the younger guys there. Efton Chisholm, who I mentioned at the beginning, if anyone doesn't know, he basically is just another 5'10" white guy. He's the new Edelman, Welker, Amendola type. And yeah, two good tight ends as well, still around. So there's a lot that I like. I think genuinely the only place I think we're thin at is linebacker, because I think the corners play aggressive. It's good safeties, like you said. With Milton Williams was a standout signing of free agency. I'm optimistic, as you can tell. Very optimistic.
Oh, go on, Adam. Go on. Do it to him. Go on. Crush his dreams. Tell him why he's wrong.
It's very difficult to be as bad as what they were last year. So I think we will start this conversation as the fact that we are at a very, very low bar. So that's the one thing I would say. It's difficult to crush his dreams, I'm afraid. I think that they've gone out and they've spent very, very well in free agency, brought in a lot of experienced players to go on that defense that will probably stand them in pretty good stead on a defense that actually last year wasn't that bad either. So I think defensively they'll be all right. The offense, obviously the O-line was a big weakness, and they've gone out and pretty much replaced all of it, haven't they? Apart from Onwenu, I think he's the only real starting guy from last year. Will Campbell, I think, will be a really good, solid pick for them. Makes complete sense to bring him in. I think Jerod Wilson from Georgia will look pretty good as well. And Morgan, they brought in Morgan Moses and Garrett Bradbury. So it is a completely new O-line. So there is that concern where it's like it might take them a bit of time to gel. The offense, I think Travion Henderson is going to be great. He will take over from Stevenson. Stevenson just fumbles the ball all the time. So I think eventually that will be fine. And The wide receiver core, it's a bit hit and miss, but I think you've got to remember that how Mike Vrabel liked to play at the Titans. And I'm not saying that Henderson is going to be Derrick Henry, because he won't be, but the run game was the most important thing. And so I think you're going to find that although there's a lot of wide receivers here, and to be honest, none of them are particularly great apart from Diggs, and you sort of feel like how much longer is he going to be great for as well. So yeah, I think it's going to be quite an old-fashioned style offense that they're probably going to play a little bit, a lot of run game. I think Hunter Henry's probably going to get used quite a lot. Yeah, I'm not sure about the wide receivers. That's probably what's going to limit them a little bit. I just feel like there's not much there. They're all kind of okay, but that's about as nice as I can be about them. But they have a chance of getting in the playoffs this year. They really do. And the only reason that they're not going to is because of how good some of the other divisions are. And if a team like the Steelers and the Bengals can put up, say, like 10, 11 wins, then that'll probably knock them out of the playoffs. But I think they've got a good chance of doing it if they can get on a run, and they do have a nice schedule. So in theory, they should do pretty well.
Sky, you heard the same thing as me, didn't you? But you said Trayvon Henson's going to be exactly like Derrick Henry.
Yeah. He texted me that, and that's why I've already pre-ordered the jersey.
Exactly. I knew my ears did not deceive me.
I mean, it goes HEN, so it's close enough, isn't it? So
I did zone out, to be fair. So
that's fair. That's fair.
Wow. I have to admit, one of my favorite moments of this draft just gone, was Will Campbell comes to, and people will be like, "Oh, bloody Americans, all this, that, and the other." But when players come to the stage and do what Will Campbell did, where clearly emotional and saying, what are you going to be like on this line for the Patriots with your quarterback? And he said, "I'll fight and die for this team and for my quarterback." And he's so emotional. And as soon as he said it, it gave me chills. And I was like, I would take a whole line of Will Campbell's any day of the week over a lot of these offensive linemen that are rated as pretty good in this league, because it clearly means everything to him. This means everything to him. And I think that's going to be, he's going to be Drake Maye's protector now for the next 10, 15 years. Like hopefully injury, he's injury free, touch wood, and he keeps good and he develops well. He is, Vrabel must have been so pleased on the phone to him when he made that call, Sky. And we've not really talked about Drake Maye, unfortunately. Do you think he is going to do the kick on? Do you think he'll give him space to give him the kick on as well?
Like Adam said, obviously the receivers, I don't necessarily think they're bad. I just think they're young. Like Demario Douglas has showed, potential. Butte's looked good in training camp. Carl Williams just been picked out. It's just like, the thing is that you just got to hope one of the guys kicks on or at least learns from Diggs, because like even Jalen Polk's potential to get cut, and he was a second-round pick last year. Matt Collins, if you look at the Patriots insiders, people are split on him. It's kind of like, well, you made a move in free agency, but also is he going to beat out these younger guys? But I just think for Drake Maye, like Adam again was saying, it's going to be running the ball more, smart play calling. I know it might be boring to a lot of people, but having watched enough Super Bowl wins, Josh McDaniels is a guy who's happy to run it on first and second down and play the percentages. And I think that's good for Drake Maye, because Jerod Mayo didn't really know.
You can't help yourself, can
the Super Bowls.
When you see us winning enough Super Bowls, it's not that exciting, So, well, even though you were part of one of the most exciting Super Bowls ever with Josh McDaniels as your coordinator.
No, but you need that calmness. And Drake Maye's gone from, when you start a sentence with no disrespect, Jerod Mayo had no coaching experience and it was just awful. And even in that one preseason game, I know it's preseason, but Dobbs as the backup quarterback did the same as Drake Maye in terms of like spreading receivers out and then rushing for a touchdown. And I think it's going to be actually utilizing, like Josh McDaniels must be so happy to have a dynamic quarterback who, again, I'm not even saying it from a biased perspective. I think we've all alluded to it, kind of seems to have a rawness of a Josh Allen who can make every throw. He just needs someone to develop him. So I hope he takes that step, but I hope it's at least in a calculated way. And sorry, to your point with Will Campbell, I actually admittedly, Fred, was a bit like, oh, this is cheesy. But 2 blocks he did in the preseason game, he finished them hard, like pushed guys like 10 yards down the field and put them on their ass, like Gronkowski style. And Adam, don't pull a face. Don't you dare. Will Campbell, this is it. The next dynasty. This is it. Drake Maye's
do it in a proper game and I'll care.
Yeah, but we couldn't do it against 6 stringers. So we've got to give him some credit.
Well, I'm not getting paid, am I, to do it? So
maybe it's a drill we should run next time we all see each other.
Do you think Drake Maye's going to kick on? Both of you?
Yeah, I would be surprised if he didn't. I think that given the fact that he's got a head coach there and like you say, an OC there who's actually decent, I think that's a really big plus for him. So that makes a lot of sense. I just worry about his receivers. I just think that's going to limit it. It's that I know you're saying a lot of them are young and they are, but it's not even. It's a bunch of young ones that haven't really done anything in their first year, and then it's a bunch of guys apart from Diggs who are kind of older but just not very good. So it does feel like a real sort of like mishmash of wide receivers. It's almost like that was the last thing they thought about, which is fair enough because I do believe that the idea is that it will be what Mike Vrabel did in Tennessee, which
I think this season he will definitely improve. But in terms of the wide receiver thing, I think it might be a little bit of like an advertisement year for for around the league of like, look, we're sort of back. I'm still a great head coach. We've definitely got a quarterback. We're the New England Patriots. You know, we're iconic. You could come here and be a Patriot and we have a playoff run and we can go and do it. And we've got a team and there'll be players that look at the Patriots and they'll go, I want to be part of that. And they'll want to, when they see Drake Maye play. And I think we've already heard everyone going, this kid's got it. He's got it. He just needs to then go on and on and on. And you made the comparison, not comparison straight May, but the point earlier with Josh Allen of like, it didn't really kick on till year 3. And we said it with Lamar Jackson the other week, didn't we? Where that didn't really kick on till year 2, 3, even 4. Like in terms of his throwing, we always knew what he could do with his feet. But in terms of his overall gameplay, it does take time some players. And I think it will. I don't think Drake is going to be Josh Allen this season. But I think you give him 3 years, more players come in, experienced players come in. Vrabel's been out of the game for what, 2 years now? Let's get him back into it as well, even though he's a fantastic head coach. And then you've got the supporting cast of Trayvon Henderson. And as I say, if they build up this O-line even more, it can just go on and on and on. So I'm excited for you.
Thanks, mate.
Not too excited, but
let's bring that excitement down a little bit.
Anyone who's watching on the video, every time I smile, we're going to do a compilation. Adam goes, he hates it.
It's okay. It's not you. He just hates joy.